It's a beautiful bacon day, Cookie Crusaders. Today we're going to be doing 14-22 against the Affogato Cookie Boss. We're going to be using Dark Cacao for shield destroying, debuffs, and injury. We're going to be using Cotton, Parfait, and Pure Vanilla for our healing, our debuff resistance, and our attack buffs and shields. And then Eclair for good damage and shields as well. You want to make sure that you have high damage resistance and some really good cooldown on all of your cookies. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of struggle in episode 14, even in the story mode, because the cookies have not only a high amount of power, there's a lot of debuffs, as you can see, that is placed on your entire team. And in addition, they have the injury debuffs that cannot be dispelled, which are put onto specific cookies. And those are going to be your biggest pain, if anything. The best thing that is what I like about this team specifically is that Parfait has a lot of that debuff resistance, so it shortens the time that those injury stacks are on there. But in addition, she has some really fast healing that goes well here, and she gives a deep defense buff as well. And so Eclair and Dark Cacao are our biggest two damage dealers, so we're going to be depending mostly on those two to be dishing out the pain to Affogato here. Our Feather is there so that when we do lose our first cookie, because we will, we're going to go ahead and at least get that revival so that we can continue the pain against Affogato as well. And as you can see, we're just barely hanging on without having to use the Feather just yet, and we're pulling off a lot of good damage. Eclair is really helpful here because every time those minions are resummoned and we beat them quickly, we're getting those shields, which is really essential for us actually being able to beat this round. Cotton Sheep giving those small little bit of stuns. The attack boost to 75% is helping as well. The debuff resistance is coming from Parfait's the biggest reason that we're not completely losing as well, and we still just barely had survived that whole point to not use the Feather, and just till now with Dark Cacao, thankfully Feather does remove all the injury stacks. So this is what's going to help us actually clear this round without having technically lost a cookie, and then that's how we 3-star the round. But the biggest thing I have to stress is that you absolutely need to have some really good damage resistance. If you can't have good damage resistance, you're going to have some real trouble even keeping multiple cookies alive. Even if you go a 4 healer team with like another support or even like Herb for a healer. Sadly, Herb does not dispel the injury debuffs, so there's no way to get past those. So you really just have to have really strong, really fast heals, and you have to have really good synergized perks coming from all the cookies and their skills. So once again, Parfait giving debuff resistance, lowering the time and the amount that's happening of the injuries, giving a defense boost to our team, which is helping against all the little numbers that are hitting us all at the same time. Cotton is giving us the healing and the attack boost. Eclair is doing the shields. Pure Vanilla, of course, just healing all together. And as you can see, barely just taking the lead between the three of these, but all three of them did a really great job. So if you guys have questions, concerns, comments, maybe you want to know some alternatives or specific timings that you can do, as the only reason I could play it on auto was the lab upgrades I have, the cookie bonds I have, all the upgraded monuments I have. That's what's really making it more manageable for my team. But if you guys have comments that you want to add on how it might be a little bit better for you or a little bit smoother for you, please let me know so that we can talk and so that I can help you. Other than that, have a wonderful night.